trying to be McFarlane.
Yeah, he got close too. I didn't hate. He always confused me when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we are, guys. We are back with the Midpoint Marvelous Facts. We got two kind of more classic characters anyway. That'll be featured in the upcoming book section number 2 in the Marvel 2-in-1. And the first one is going to be Alicia Masters, and she is just a long time Fantastic Four side character. She first appeared in Fantastic Four number 8 way back in the day in 1962. It was created by, of course, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. She's most famous for being a blind comic book character, which happened to her at the age of 15 during an accident while her and her mother went to go pick up her father from his job at a factory. Her stepfather down the line ended up, well, further down the line after becoming her stepfather, not immediately from what I read, but was eventually the puppet master. So that's where she gets her last name Masters from what I read as well. They like to tie it all together back then. She is kind of, her day job is she's a world-renowned sculptor, and you do see her, spoiler alert, in the coming issue on the very first page, sculpting a new Fantastic Four statue for the Baxter Building. Quick cool story from also an older story. When the Silver Surfer, Herald of Galactus, first came to Earth, he came across Alicia by chance. She sensed his inner nobility and pleaded with him to spare humanity. So his long dormant emotions were stirred by Alicia's beauty and her spirit. The Surfer turned on Galactus and helped fight him off, which, then kind of forced Galactus to banish Surfer, and started that whole feud. So Alicia is part of the reason for all that, which I thought was a cool note.
That's pretty cool.
And then her other kind of cool thing is she, obviously being a blind character, as a blind cane, a little like Daredevil. And just like Daredevil, also given to her by Matt Murdock as a birthday gift, this is a special white cane that can be split into a double baton for self-defense. So almost exactly like Daredevil's, just white instead of red. But yeah, I don't know. You know anything about Alicia there? Any cool facts, things I might have overlooked?
No, not much.
I thought it was cool. Her stepdad was Puppet Master.
Yeah, I remember that from the cartoon.
Oh, okay. That she was ultimately, if so facto, responsible for Silver Surfer turning on Galactus, essentially. That's another cool bit about the character. So if you didn't know anything about her, she's not just, a nobody. She's had a impact on things down the line or in the past. And then the other character,
those 90s. Those 90s cartoons, like Fantastic Four. Remember in Fox, they had they had Spider-Man, they had Fantastic Four, they had X-Men, and they had Iron Man. Like they were pretty close to the comic books. Those cartoons. Because when I go back and I read the comics, I'm like, oh, that's pretty on point, especially the X-Men one.
Yeah, I never remember watching the Iron Man or the Fantastic Four one. I watched the Spider-Man and X-Men, but I don't know if the other ones weren't on by me or what.
I love those. They used to play them.
I just didn't get that channel.
They used to play them in the same block when I used to watch them. I think it was on Fox, and in between, Stan Lee at the end of the episodes, he'd be like, "Stay tuned, true believers, for Spider-Man." It was just hilarious.
I remember that. I just don't remember the Iron Man stuff. I've since seen the cartoons. I've never watched them, but
yeah, it had Scarlet Witch in it.
Yeah, so
I remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, our second character is Googum, son of Goon. He's kind of like a monster, he's on one of the most famous Fantastic Four covers from way back in the day. Tales of Suspense number 7 was his first appearance, also created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And then the other character, I mean, he's not a super storied character. He's had a few appearances here and there, and one of late, actually a couple more of late. So he's probably more popular currently than he ever was back in the day, to be honest. But anyway, he actually appears, even though he goes by Googum, son of Goom. He actually appears in comic continuity before his father, despite his thing always being like he's trying to make his dad proud. So I thought that was pretty interesting. His dad does end up making appearances down the line, but it's not until like Tales of Suspense number. I don't remember if it was 15 or 18. I'm blurring that number in my memory right now. But so yeah, his dad also has, an albeit brief, short, memorable, older comic history as well. He is just Goom. He does not go by Goom, son of whatever. So he is just Goom, and then Goog is his son, and he goes by Son of Goom.
It's just too funny.
They're both alien beings from Planet X, and I don't really know why they're here on Earth, but they are, and they have remained here for quite some time. Their most recent activity for Googum is he was involved with kind of a forced team up with Doctor Strange during the whole Monsters Unleashed thing that went on. Again, I'm not sure if that was the main series or the mini series. But long story short, in the end, he teamed up with Doctor Doom and kind of had a respect for him. Kind of is an anti-hero at this point. They play him a little goofy in this issue that we're about to cover here coming up. But I enjoyed him, and I enjoyed his brief appearance in the issue. We'll say that. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to segue on into our next title, which is Marvel 2-in-1, number 2. All right, so we'll cut that in there.
Every time you say Google, like giggle inside.
I know, it's such a ridiculous name. Like it's such a classic old dude thinking of comic book names name.
It really is.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap up Phoenix here. All right, so we are back. This is quick 5-minute or less summary on Phoenix Resurrection, number 4. And I don't know. To me, the fourth issue actually read a lot like the first 3, but at least we didn't separate the teams at all. So the team, at least a section of the team, the one that we're following, kind of groups up and goes approach that Phoenix egg at the end of last issue. They enter this egg pretty quickly within this issue as Jean, continues to just kind of stumble around trying to figure out what the fuck is going on inside of this quote unquote egg/dome. She's really kind of still being a little blockheaded, not having much luck or picking up the signals. Long story short, in the end, what we get is Old Man Logan, I guess. I always have a little problem with it, but I guess I shouldn't now. He's basically the stand-in for Wolverine at this point in time until Wolverine comes out as Wolverine. He basically pulls what was X3? What was that movie? What was it called?
Last Stand?
The Last Stand, yeah. He basically pulls Last Stand and volunteers himself at the end to go in there and basically just end this all, I guess, is what he was getting at, or he was going to at least see what's up.
Talk her down, deal with it best.
Yeah, so that's how it wraps up. Unless you got any thoughts you want to add in there that I've kind of glossed over.
I don't know. It did read like the first 3. I did like the art. I'm a big Ramon Rosanas fan. I like the perspective in the beginning, like what's really going on and what Jean sees. So like when she's
I do
not
like
looking,
that too.
Everything's right. So like when she's not looking, everything's on fire. But then like the paperboy, he's coming at her. Everything behind her is on fire. And then when she goes by him and she turns to ask him about the paper, everything on the other side's on fire now. And then everything behind her is normal.
That was cool.
I like some of the dead characters showing up. I liked seeing Multiple Man in that dope red costume. Those red costumes were dope, and I think that's these look like the costume designs that I think we're going to see in X-Men Red. So that's a nice little taste. But yeah, I mean, not Gesundheit.
Sorry, I couldn't reach the mute. I was trying to reach it. I didn't get it.
But yeah, it was a lot of the same. Like they're fighting
Yeah.
people that don't exist, like they did in the past 3 issues. They finally get to the diner, and then they decide, like, this is like an incubation for Jean, like trying to. I think last time we covered it, I was basically what I said about the dome. Like, that it's just trying to ease her along until it
It's like
can
a giant
take over her.
incubation egg. Yeah.
Yeah, and they want to stop it before it happens. They want to they don't want Jean to be inhabited by the Phoenix, and if they can't stop that from happening, Logan has to kill her. There was a page that looked really bad.
Yep.
Which page was it? It was in the digital copy. It was page 16. Did you? Oh my God! Like the art was just so off. I don't know if I can blame the inker.
It goes in and out on the series, like as a whole. It's weird because it'll go in and out throughout a various issues. So it almost looks like, well, I know it's not the case, but like, the issue starts off fine, but then it like just starts going downhill. Is like they're hitting their deadline or something. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they had it in the can, so it
picks up again, like for the big splash pages at the end. So
yeah, I mean, in the beginning, like when they're all standing outside the door, like Beast looks fucking fantastic. Like
I know. I wish they would just turn Beast back into a human, and everyone would just stop trying to draw Cat Beast or Beast or whatever they want to draw him as.
They've been pretty good lately. Like he's got the shaved head, kind of like not shaved head, but he's got the short hair and the chops.
Everyone just needs to agree to draw him like the '90s X-Men cartoon, and I will be perfectly fine with it. Like just everybody do that. Let's all agree on it.
Lately it's been good. So like through Uncanny Avengers, Avengers No Surrender, Phoenix Resurrection, like the books that he's shown up in as of late, he's looked exactly the same in every one of them. But before now, like back around like the IVX days, and like people couldn't agree like what he was supposed to look like, and he always looked different to everybody. It was fucking ridiculous. Cat Beast, like Beast that we see here.
I really, if they're not going to go with the 90s thing, I'm just going to, in my mind from now on, think every time it's not the 90s looking Beast, it's just Mystique. That's what I'm doing.
Just Mystique.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Cat Beast?
Yeah, they did Cat Beast in Astonishing before they revealed her to be Mystique. But yeah, I don't know. I would say it's overall a borrow still. Like it depends how big of a Jean Grey fan you are and how well you know X-Men history, because there's a lot of cool call outs.
Not in this
there's
one.
A bunch of like Easter eggs that they're peppered throughout. It depends how big of a fan you are. You'll find them. If you're a casual X fan, you'll just overlook them all. It's not anything that hurts your enjoyment of the story or anything, but it's cool if you see them.
Yeah, character-wise, they did in this issue. Like they had Thunderbird, they had Icarus, like stuff like that. Like, but when it comes to like deep cut scenes, like they had in 1, 2, and 3, like stuff that symbolized like the past, they didn't have any of that in this issue. So this issue,
it was almost like Jean just walking alone by herself. Most of her parts.
So I'm hoping next will be good.
A good conclusion to finally give this one a buy, because I think I've been borrowed the whole way through as a series overall right now.
I was buy at first, and then now I've been borrow for the past 2, I think. So
yeah, I think it's not garbage. It's just like, I don't know, could have been 3 issues maybe. Just wrap this sucker up. But
let's just get X-Men Red going.
that doesn't fill a trade, does it? So no. It's 6 and it's almost over. So we'll wrap it all up next week. And speaking of next week, along with an extra long X section, because we're going to double dose the Jean Grey stuff for you next week. We're going to do a little Scarlet Spider. I think we're going to check in on Punisher Platoon, and that's going to be number 5. Yep. And then we got a 2-week Avengers summary to give you guys. So we're going to give you the quick 5-minute rundown of the last 2 weekly Avenger titles. And keep you up to date on what's going on there. So we got a busy week next week. So we're going to sign out here and get to work on that. And I hopefully do not sound like I'm talking out of my nose next week. This is driving me crazy. But yeah, you got anything to close out here as we say sayonara?
No, but I got nothing.
All right, guys. So enjoy your week. We will talk to you next Monday. Peace out.
Peace.